Shalom.
Shalom. Before we begin the lesson, all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and teachers of Great Millstone for teaching us this 100% truth about our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and the true reason why he's coming back, which is to save the elect remnant of the house of Israel from their enemies and those that hate them, and take over the earth and universe, which was given to him by the mighty Yahweh himself, the Ancient of Days, wherein our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, will establish righteousness throughout the whole earth and universe forever under the kingdom of the heaven of the Israelites. Shalom, Akim and Akwaf. We one day closer to the kingdom. Back at you with prophecies. Because they all, we're at the end of the age of Esau. And these prophecies are popping out the pages in the Holy Scriptures. Go ahead, Haratas.
That's right. So, like the brother mentioned, man, all of the things that brothers have been saying recently, even before us, are coming to pass. You know, the scriptures are quite literally flying off the pages. And it's really nothing more we can do besides continue to speak on what's going on in the news and wait for these last few prophecies to come to pass, which is the MOTB being implemented, uh, World War III, lake of fire, destruction of America, Babylon the Great, and the salvation of the elected house of Israel. So I just want to start off, open up the lesson with these two precepts. And we're gonna play a couple of clips for y'all, and Lord willing, the lesson be edifying to those out there listening and watching. Shouldn't be too long because really we pretty much going over the same things as a recent. So just pretty much updates at this point. The book of Ecclesiastes, the 39th chapter, in the first verse, it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." Right? And that's the mindset of the brothers of the brotherhood, right? Staying occupied with prophecy. That's the main thing that GMS goes into. Great Millstone is prophecy. If you all know or familiar with the teachings, man, going into prophecy, looking into what's going to come to pass in the future and in the near future. It says he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also, right? He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travail. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. You want me to continue reading?
Yeah. So basically, we've been watching. No, that was it. That's it.
All right.
So we occupied in the prophecies of the book, right? Just like Isaiah 33. It's coming to pass. I just read it. Unless you're going to pull your other precept up. You said you had a couple. Go ahead. Go pull your next
one. The book of Revelation, the first chapter and the first verse, it says, "The revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which God gave unto him. He shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John." Right? And it says something along those lines as well in the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter and the 7th verse, right? The Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. So if you have a set group of people who are continuing to get these prophecies correct, and the things that's coming to pass on the earth, every time they're saying something's happening or it's going to happen, it keeps continuing to come to pass, and it's going to continue to come to pass in the near future, then they must say something, right? You have people out here and camps or groups of men who are saying that no one has the 100% truth, and that doesn't even make sense, right? How could we receive salvation if we don't know what we're doing or what's going to happen or or where we're supposed to go, right?
Yeah, we've been speaking on, like you said, the apostles and elders before us, our great millstone, who we learned from. They've been speaking of these things, and they all wrote down in the scriptures. We filter everything through the Bible, so it ain't no adding or subtracting from it. We have GMS has the 100% doctrine of the scriptures, and like we said in previous lessons, roughly paraphrasing, it's bitter and sweet. Sweet when you first read, but it's also bitter because the Most High Power is the God of war, and that's what's taking place where we at right now in the time in history. It's a time of war, not a time of peace, and we see that this new escalation that has happened. It was only a weekend, right? And Iran and already said, "No, ain't no need for no ceasefire talks, nigga. This war. It's a war. This ain't no you strike us, we strike y'all back, and then y'all call it. Let's set up some kind of ceasefire agreement. Ain't no ceasefire. It's war this time." And now DJ, he didn't came out, the cruel king then came out and said the only talking he want to do is the unconditional surrender of Iran, which ain't finna happen. These things are all written in the scriptures that's gonna take place. And like we just was looking at the little news clip, you got 7 European countries from the beast system headed to Cyprus right now, so they can try to help defend them 48 fakers, the Israelis and America. Now, if they pumping up how they saying with peak head self, that they doing all this damage, what you need help from all these other countries from? Why you trying to call on what is it? Who was it? Spain. They sent a ship to Cyprus for defense purposes only.
You said England and France,
UK, France, Netherlands.
In the midst of this, they also have,
it's in the ships and fighter jets.
In the midst of that, you trying to pull up some?
No, go ahead. I'm trying to see if I can pull this tick up on TV.
Oh, in the midst of that, you have division going on. In the midst of that, you have division going on between allies because you have people from a side putting false flags out on Saudi Arabia when Saudi Arabia is an ally of America. So it's just all just dysfunctional.
And they was complicit. They was complicit with the assassination of Khomeini. They saying Khomeini.
So all in all, just know this: with the United States and Donald Nero Trump sending those strikes over to Iran, they basically lit the candle to the countdown. So as that candle continues to burn and the wax starts to drip off more and more, you can symbolize that as the end and the perishing of this kingdom, because that's going to lead to a major prophecy coming to pass, right? The fact that the United States and Iran are even in conflict with each other is something that we've been speaking on for a while now, right? So as we always say, man, these things that are coming to pass is no surprise to us, as we just read in Ecclesiastes 39 and Revelation 1:1. We're the watchmen of the house of Israel. We're the watchmen of the house of Israel, right? So Lord have put a spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding upon set brothers in order to be able to decipher the signs and the times that's going on in the earth right now, and be able to line it up with the scriptures, and be able to tell that these things are happening once again for the controversy of Zion, for the things that these nations have done to the Lord's children, which is the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and for the return of Yahushua Mashiach to get revenge for what they did to him when he was in a human-like form. Elder Pastor Hart.
Yes, in Revelation, you might well Since you right there in Revelation, you still in Revelation 1?
Con, I'm gonna read to 3 and then move on.
Huh? No, read to where your house not gonna crack them clouds and get the ones who even.
Oh yeah, who pierced them?
You know what I'm saying?
Con, I got you. Revelation 1:1, the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach, which God gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must surely come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angels unto his servant John, right? That's another reason why the people around us, if you ever tell them about the things going on, they can't understand it because the Lord is not working with them. Who bear record of the word of God.
They conscious of having been stored with a hot iron. They in a deep sleep.
Yeah. Who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach, and of all things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand, right? As the scriptures say, it's better to be a slave or a servant to Yahweh Shah than to be a slave or a servant to sin or even wicked things, right? Because where does that really profiting you? At the end of the day, as it says in the book of Second Ezra, the 9th chapter. Yeah. And what it says in the book of Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, around the 16th or 15th verse, it says, there will be many more that perish than that are saved. As a wave is more than a drop, roughly paraphrasing, right? That's why it's only meant for a select few people, and the majority of it were blinded. The rest were blinded.
And since you said that the wave of the drop, it reminded me of the precept, might be Isaiah 45, when the other nations are as of a drop out of a vessel to the Lord. You can't, you know how people are. When anybody die, they get to getting emotional. These other nations, like the Palestinians, yeah, they losing, they getting put to sleep in mass numbers. Because that's another thing ain't nobody talking about. The Gaza Strip, they still pounding them people, starving them out. They just cut off all access again. And they bombing Lebanon right now too. So yeah, they putting, a lot of people are getting put to sleep on around the earth, around the globe. But those other nations are numbered of. Let me just get it. Shalaki. It's in the Apocrypha too.
The earth is having birth pains, and it's global conflict going on all over, not just in that Western Asia region, right? You know, you have civil wars going on in Africa right now. You got Ukraine and Russia still fighting. They just had a memorial for 4 or 5 years of that war been going on. Pretty sure it's been 4 years now in February. So there's a reason why there's global conflict, global wars going on, as it says in the book of Matthew 24. Wars and rumors of wars, right? Verse 4, while he's looking for that. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Yahushua Mashiach, who is the faithful witness, and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, right? Because Yahushua, once again, is going to come back and be the ruler of the earth, which the earth was created for the righteous. He's going to come and rule the nations with a rod of iron. Unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto God and his Father, Yahweh. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. And you can also, that's another way, you know, because I want to say I was talking about this not too long ago, how you can relate Yahweh Shah being Solomon through the Spirit, right? Because I'm pretty sure the Lord said that he was going to have Solomon rule, have dominion, but over the earth, but he never got to that point. And when he comes back as Yahweh Shah, he's going to rule over the nations forever. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye can see him.
This is Isaiah 40 and 15. Pull it up if you can.
40 and 15, I got you. Behold, he cometh with clouds, as in the chariots, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Right. So that just also proves that reincarnation is real, right? Because those same people who put
Yeah,
Yahweh Shai up
regeneration.
and crucify him, they're gonna be here for that moment. That's how big of a moment in history this is gonna be, right? As it says, there are souls that are gonna be brought back from the spiritual realm to everlasting life, and some to everlasting contempt and shame. The Lord's gonna bring back certain people just to experience and witness His moment,
That's all it
for
is. To
good
this thing.
sake, to be saved, and to be in that lake of fire.
Yeah.
So you said, well, let me finish this in verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, saith the Lord,
Yeah.
which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty, right? So this is how proud man is. These people think that they're gonna be able to fight Yahweh Shai and the angels and win.
Yeah. This is what they get the Space Force for. Yeah. And when you go to 40, Isaiah 40, from what you just said, you can start at 5. You can start up at 5.
Come. And the glory of
And
Yahweh
then
shall be
13.
revealed. Shall read to 13?
You can go 5 and then jump down. Or you can even read that 6. Because we all flesh is grass. Because the Lord is eliminating all people. We got how many wars is this going on right now? Ukraine against Russia still. And then you got the so-called Middle East on fire right now. With about 13 countries involved because they got military bases because of the great oil. It sits upon many waters. So yeah, I go with you can start at 5. Read 5 and then jump down to 12.
Right. And the glory of Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. The voice said, cry, and he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass.
That's what he just spoke of it in Revelation. You're going to see. Everybody going to see the Lord. I'm sorry.
All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the spirit of Yahweh bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass.
Yeah, you see how you get through the grass, right? It can blow in the wind, it can get mowed down, and people falling. They lying about them numbers over there, especially about the American military personnel that's getting killed, as well as the American contractors that they got over in that region. Because this is what Esau can't figure out. They don't know. They think they're going to, like you said, they think they're going to defeat Yahweh Shai Mashiach and the angels. You crazy. Want me to read it?
Oh, you can.
Huh?
I said you can if you want to.
All right. Isaiah 40 and 12. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand and meted out heaven with the span and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance? Who have directed the spirit of Yahweh or been his counselor have taught him? Nobody.
Right.
Lord don't need no advice from nobody. He don't need to create no fucking AI to try to get some kind of knowledge or something. The Lord is the creator. Right? And let's drop down to the point. So for everybody who thinking the Most High power love everybody, right? Because these nations are going at it, and there's depopulation taking place on earth right now. Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
Whoa.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Go ahead.
Did you mean to go over 14?
Oh, no. Yeah, but you can read that though.
Come.
With whom read 14?
I can. With whom took he counsel and who instructed him?
With
You said what?
Nobody. Go ahead. I'm listening to what you just read. I'm going along with you read.
Okay. Verse 13. Who hath directed the spirit of Yahweh, or being his counselor hath taught him? That's just like I can't remember what book it's in. If I looked it up though, I could find it. Where it talks about the potter making the clay, I want to say. And the clay saying,
oh yeah.
Yeah, who hath made you? With whom took he counsel?
Might be Jeremiah 18. Let me see.
I know it's a couple precepts like that.
There's a couple of precepts on it, yeah.
With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him? Right, as it says, there is no God with me. All the gods are idols, roughly paraphrasing, and taught him in the path of judgment.
Let me see.
And taught him in knowledge, and shewed to him the way of understanding. And like he said, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. So it's a few scriptures where the Lord says he's gonna set Lebanon on fire.
Yeah, and they going through it right now. It's people displaced everywhere. You talking about Isaiah 29:16? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? That's how the Edomites think. They think they can outthink the Most High Power. They think their house is gonna last forever. But it's coming to an end now. They made a fatal mistake when they did this, but it was written in the scriptures to happen. Right? Ezekiel 38 and 39 is in full effect.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's backfired on them. Let me read verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Right? So, like the brother just read, how can the thing that's been made, number one,
outthink the thing that made it?
I don't know how you can answer that question. Then on top of that, Esau Edom have done a good job of convincing, as it said, this is why they're going. This is another reason, on top of all the other reasons, why they're going to be destroyed. They've deceived the nations to where they have people. There's people on earth that actually think that God didn't create man; man created God.
Yeah, that's the sentiment. And guess who'll be the main people pumping that little philosophy? The small hatters. Because Noel Harari said it, didn't he? That the man created God to keep the people under control, the masses under control. Whatever, we finna find out. Now, ain't it kind of funny how whatever percentage of small hatters that it is, 48 fakers is on earth, over majority of them do not believe in the Bible. They not righteous at all. Don't practice nothing in no kind of religious manner. And yet they get to hide behind that title of being a 48 faker. So you can't say nothing about it. They break all the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. I could have read up on Isaiah 29 too. That's a good chapter for you to read, Israel. Right? Isaiah 29 and 15. This is right before verse 16. Will surely turning the things upside down, right? Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us? And who knoweth us? That was the playbook of them fucking Edomites. But now, every time they do something, within a day, it's revealed. Like he said, they tried to say Iran bombed the Aramco Saudi Arabia oil field, but it wasn't them. It was them Israelis. Thinking they doing their secret spy shit. They said they exposed. So let me read 16 again. Because Esau did this. They turned things upside down. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not. So these other nations that y'all be so concerned with, the Lord created the Elamites, the Edomites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, and he also created us, but he chose us to worship him, not the other nations. He gave them fake gods to worship. Y'all don't understand that? So right now, you got the Elamites, the Persians, whatever god they worship, allies, because the majority of them Muslims, and then you got the Israelis, and we already know who they worship, Satan. The Lord taking all of them out. All of this, what's that? Isaiah 34 and 8. I'm gonna read that in let's read that in the NLT before we start playing these clips, because you've been getting misinformation, like we've been telling y'all. Yeah. Can you pull up? I'll pull it up. How can I get myself?
Oh, I got you. I'll put you on the stage. Go ahead.
It ain't even popping up.
You sure your screen is on there?
I thought I shared my screen.
Your screen already is being shared. Just go to whatever you're trying to show.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. Matter of fact, we'll get him in. We'll get it at this. I kind of like how this worked. Let's go to Isaiah 34. Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. That's what we're doing. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations. Now we already know that he count the nations other than the house of Israel as a drop of water, a drop of a bucket, right? For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. That's what he's doing right now. He finna destroy this American army, and along with them other nations, just headed over to the land of Jehoshaphat, right? Let me get down to the important part. Verse 5. Oh, verse 4. We can go to verse 4 because let you know it's going to be a nuclear war. I'm going to start at 2. I'm just going to keep going. Verse 3. The slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. You can read that in Ezekiel 39. No, it's in 38. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, meaning the mushroom clouds. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a fallen fig from the fig tree. They go to point from my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is the Greek way of saying Edom, Esau, Edom, the modern day white man, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So, you know, you can reverse it at. The Lord got a curse on the whole nation of Esau, Edom, meaning the so-called modern day white man, right? Now let's get down to verse 8 because he go to point. I wonder if I can make this, can I change this to NLT version?
Not on that Bible. You have to be in the blue letter.
Okay, well, let me read it like this, and then I'm going to go and get out the blue letter. Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of Yahweh's revenge, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion, right? Zion, that's us. So-called Native Americans, so-called African Americans, and Latinos. Now let's get this right quick. We're going to read it in the NLT. Same scripture. Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of Yahweh's revenge, the year when Esau, will be paid back for all it did to Israel. The streams of Edom will be filled with burning pitch, and the ground will be covered with fire. Now let's look at a couple of these clips. Wait a minute. Let's read this first. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Fair use is in full effect. This is for educational purposes only. So we got several clips of what's been going down over there in that region. Because like we've been saying, they ain't reporting everything on CNN, CSNBC. They ain't reporting the truth. They got the American
safety time right now.
They got
Eastern safety.
Yeah, they got the American public thinking that they over there just bombing the shit out of Iran, huh?
So it's peace and safety time right now. They can't let the people be afraid. It'll be an uproar. They don't want them to be scared right now. It's peace and safety time.
Let's play this from the Times of India. The 22nd wave.
Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says it has launched the 22nd wave of Operation True Promise 4, firing a barrage of missiles towards Israeli and U.S.-linked targets. The announcement was made in a statement carried by Tasnim news agency. According to Tasnim, the new wave began Friday afternoon under the codename Ya Hussein ibn Ali. The IRGC said missiles were launched toward what it described as the heart of the occupied territories. The IRGC said the strike involved several missile types, including Khorramshahr 4, Khyber, and Fatah missiles, targeting locations from the Persian Gulf region to Tel Aviv. The statement, carried by Tasnim news agency, said targets included American and Israeli-linked facilities in Gulf countries, along with locations around Tel Aviv, Ben Gurion Airport, and military centers in Haifa. Iran said one of the missiles used in the barrage was the Khorramshahr 4, described as an ultra-heavy missile carrying a 2-ton warhead and capable of speeds exceeding Mach 14, according to the IRGC statement. Iranian officials also rejected claims that its missile capabilities have weakened. The IRGC said the latest launches demonstrate that its network of missile bases remains fully operational, Tasnim reported. A senior IRGC official told Fars news agency that most missiles fired during the first week of the war were older systems produced between 2012 and 2014. The official said Iran has largely held back its newest missile systems so far, but warned that more advanced long-range missiles could be used in the coming days if the conflict continues, according to Fars. The IRGC says it is prepared for a prolonged war until what it calls the aggressor is punished.
The Iranian ballistic missiles targeted the Ben Gurion International Airport in Israel, the Israeli media reported. According to Israelia, there had been no reports of injuries following the latest Iranian ballistic missile attack on central Israel. According to the Israeli military, a small number of missiles were launched in the salvo.
Declared dead already from this strike from last night.
There were no reports of direct impacts in residential areas. Fragments reportedly landed in some areas. Sirens went off in Tel Aviv again after Iran launched ballistic missiles on the Israeli capital. The latest strikes mark a full week of attacks affecting countries across the Middle East. The IDF Home Front Command said civilians in areas where sirens sounded can now leave bomb shelters, but should still remain close.
Look, I got something else. It's different from that. Let me go to the history.
Through all of this, I haven't heard nothing from Benjamin Milikowski.
Oh, he on his way. He on his way to Mar-a-Lago. Here you go. Yeah, he on his way to Mar-a-Lago. Hey, they mad because they saying, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it is. Here you go. Let me do something right quick.
Do you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Goldman Sachs says that Elon Musk's new AI breakthrough
We told y'all Ezekiel 38 is in full effect. Russia's being a guard until Persia, along with Ethiopia, Libya, they're going to all come at America and them Israelis.
Russia is providing Iran with intelligence on the locations of American warships and aircraft in the Middle East, according to a report by the Washington Post. US officials say the information is helping Tehran target American military assets in the region.
Hold up. Let me get some backdrop right quick now. Just the other day, America blew up Iranian naval ship that was participating in some kind of exercises with India. This ship did not have any weapons on board, and they had like what they would call dignitaries on the ship because it was like a parade, some kind of celebration. America blew it up. Pete Hegseth went on national TV yesterday, and they said blow it up on the screen. They showed everybody blowing. They showed them with the submarine blowing up the boat. It was like 180 Iranians on it. And as a result, the retaliation, they done bombed a destroyer out in the Indian Ocean.
The Washington Post reported that the intelligence sharing marks the first indication that another major US adversary may be indirectly involved in the expanding conflict. 3 officials familiar with the intelligence said Moscow has passed targeting data to Iran since the war began. According to the Washington Post, the information reportedly includes positions of US warships, military aircraft, and radar systems across the Middle East. Officials say such intelligence could help Iran plan attacks against American forces and installations. The report says Russia has been sharing the information since the conflict escalated on Saturday. While Moscow has not commented publicly, officials say the assistance signals a deeper geopolitical dimension to the ongoing war. The Washington Post also reported that the conflict has already turned deadly for American troops. 6 US service members were killed and several others injured.
Now I'm looking at these Navy ships, and I say this right now. Been out of school 4 years now. I know somebody in each branch of the government, each branch of the military, Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines.
Oh, and one of the classmate, He in the Israeli army. He finna pass.
I know
What's
two
his
people
name?
in the Israeli army, actually.
Yeah. What's his name? Rosenblum.
Rosenblum
Rosenthal.
and then the
Yeah, he
other
gone.
dude named Ben Shahar.
Yeah, he gone. Now, let me play a little more of this. Then we're gonna show the effect of the Russian intelligence.
An Iranian drone strike on a military site in Kuwait on Sunday. Since the start of the war, Iran has launched thousands of one-way attack drones and hundreds of missiles at US military positions, embassies, and other targets in the region, according to officials cited by the Washington Post.
So them saying they came out and destroyed their Navy. They hit 11 Navy ships. They destroyed their missile centers. They lying.
At the same time, the joint US-Israeli campaign has
See that
struck
shit?
more than 2,000 targets inside Iran. These include ballistic missile facilities, naval assets, and sites linked to Iran's leadership structure, the Washington Post reported. Two officials familiar with the intelligence told the Washington Post that China does not appear to be providing similar
That's all we need from that.
assistance to Iran, while
Let me get that. Let's go back to what happened with that information they got from Russia. That should have been first.
The people shall mourn, but ye shall be merry.
Yeah. Look at that. That one ended. Oh, no, this ain't even it. No.
Breaking. Claims from Tehran are sending shockwaves through global security circles. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has said it has struck a U.S. Navy destroyer in the Indian Ocean using ballistic and cruise missiles. According to the IRGC, the strike caused major fires on board the warship and a nearby tanker during refueling operations. But as of now, Washington has not confirmed any such loss.
They already say they gonna tell you how many people that's being put to sleep in this war and all the money it's costing. But we got some reports on that. They just spent over $2 billion already just in the first week.
Iran says the attack involved two advanced weapon systems: the Ghadar 380 ballistic missile, capable of striking targets up to 2,000 kilometers away, and the Talaye cruise missile, a strategic weapon with a range of around 1,000 kilometers. Tehran says the missiles struck a destroyer located more than 600 kilometers from Iranian territory. If confirmed, it would represent one of the longest-range naval strikes claimed by Iran. The IRGC says the attack is part of a new military campaign called Operation True Promise 4. The operation is described as retaliation against what Tehran calls Israeli-American aggression. Iranian state sources claim the attack triggered widespread fires aboard both the destroyer and the tanker it was refueling from. However, independent verification of the strike has not yet emerged. Military analysts say such claims must be carefully verified. Destroyers are heavily defended with layered missile interception systems, and any confirmed loss of a U.S. warship would mark a dramatic escalation in the region. For now, the world is waiting for confirmation.
They waiting for confirmation. The details gonna come out.
The Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group has unleashed bloody attacks on Israeli forces in southern Lebanon amid renewed fighting.
Hey, it ain't going well for Esau. Nowhere across the board, especially Amalek.
An officer of the Israeli Defense Forces was seriously wounded during fighting with Hezbollah in South Lebanon on
Hezbollah blew up 4 of them tanks, them Israeli tanks.
March 5th. The IDF also informed that another soldier suffered moderate injuries. Both troops serve in the IDF's Givati Brigade and were taken to a hospital for treatment. According to the Times of Israel, citing the IDF, their families were notified and no further details were shared. The wounded officer marks the most serious casualty yet among Israeli troops since ground forces began pushing deeper into southern Lebanon in recent days as part of an offensive in response to renewed cross-border rocket fire. On March 4th,
see the headline, 27 American targets in the Middle East region. Now let's just look at this. What's the global, how the global
seem to have
gonna be affected
multiple
by this?
economic red flags and the warning signs flashing right now, especially with war popping off big time with Iran. And you can just look over at the markets and you can see how gas, oil, spiking, and then the cost of living has been up on people, period. But now, when it comes to gold, silver, and a lot of the other commodities out there, there's warning signs that this whole thing could come down. The Straits of Hormuz, this choke point where all the oil goes back and forth, that is key. And we've got some economists out there saying exactly that if this isn't settled, it's gonna stifle the economies of every country involved, whether they're trying to export it or import it. This is why China's trying to get a pass to get through there to Iran to get their stuff and get out.
China already got a pass, and they got an oil reserve too. And they finna go right back to get more oil from Russia. You helping Russia out. You trying to destroy Russia through Ukraine, but you in the end, you cut off their oil supply deals they had with Europe. But in the end, guess who? They still got to come back to Russia for the oil. So you making their war machine even greater.
Without having to deal with the headache. But you can look over at the live maps and you could see how in this area there's like nothing going on. They've brought it to a standstill. Look right here. Look how no one is trying to come up around this bend.
Look at all those ships.
You may have one or two that slide through. Majority are piled up on both sides here of this peninsula. Mr. Gold is warning of a system reset, and he believes silver is going to light the fuse in terms of all this coming down. First, it's going to happen in silver, and it's going to affect gold within 24 hours. Because right now, there's a demand for physical silver that swamps the existing supply big time. So when you look at this, you look at COMEX and what they got, they already have 52 million ounces of silver standing for delivery. That's out of 86 million total. That leaves around 30 million. And they're saying this is going to cause people to step in and start calling to get their stuff returned to them, because if
Yeah, it's on right now. You good? It's recording.
All right, we're gonna play this and play this. Huh?
You good? Go ahead.
Shalaki, what you say? Yeah, I was just playing a video about how the global economy finna crash because of this event, because they didn't close out the Strait of Hormuz. Now let's play this other one right here, because you heard Pete Hegseth say they destroyed all they missile launch systems. Let's see.
Israel keeps striking, but Iran's missiles keep appearing from the shadows. On the briefings, Iran looks weaker, but every launch says otherwise. Jerusalem is rolling out a new battle plan for what looks like an endless wall of missiles. After being duped by painted decoys, Israel's war machine is quietly rewriting the rules.
You see how quickly he said that? Remember, we discussed this earlier. They was hitting decoys. Look at him. Look how he looking. Is there no more wisdom in teaming? The Lord that took all the wisdom from you Edomites. Y'all doing dumb shit. Y'all bombing shit that ain't empty buildings.
Israel's war in Iran is entering a second, more dangerous phase, now shifting its focus to underground ballistic missile facilities hidden deep beneath Iranian soil. According to the Israeli military, Fighter jets will next be tasked with striking Iran's deeply buried missile complexes designed to protect its long-range arsenal. This escalation comes as the joint US-Israel air campaign nears the end of its first week, following the opening strike launched on February 28th. Those initial strikes killed senior Iranian leaders, including Supreme Leader Khamenei, unleashing a full-scale war between Israel and Iran. Israel claims it has already destroyed hundreds of above-ground Iranian missile launchers that were capable of striking Israeli territory. In the second phase, the focus...
They said they killed hundreds. But guess what? The Iranian military got 80,000 drones. And they make 500 a day. So y'all ain't stopped shit.
Focus will shift to fortified bunkers believed to store ballistic missiles and critical Iranian military equipment, according to sources familiar with the plans. Officials say their ultimate goal is to neutralize Iran's ability to launch aerial attacks on Israel by the forces, who spoke on condition of anonymity due to the sensitivity of the planned operations, shared these details with Reuters. Israel has also adjusted its targeting strategy after earlier strikes mistakenly hit decoy mock-ups and aircraft paintings at Iranian bases, exposing flaws in its initial intelligence.
Hey, this is how you know they losing. Why you need all these other countries to come send help to Cyprus?
Israel Army statement read, quote, "The Air Force struck an underground infrastructure site used by the Iranian regime to store ballistic missiles and storage sites for missiles intended for use against aircraft," unquote. These strikes mark the first confirmed Israeli attacks on Iran's buried ballistic missile facilities, signaling a major escalation in the conflict. Estimates of Iran's stockpile range from roughly 2,500 to 6,000 rockets and missiles, depending on which military and intelligence sources are cited. Analysts say the size and readiness of Iran's remaining missile inventory could determine how long this war lasts and how...
From the likes of it, they just use old missiles and bombs. Now they use it. They starting to step up and use some of their new technology. And we seen what the result from that yesterday. From last night, I mean, Shalaki. They told them Israelis up. I'm trying to find that footage. Let me see.
You talking about the one where they sent it and it dispersed into like 20 warheads?
Yeah, they got them, the cluster bomb thing, and they had, but they shot the new missile. I think I played the first. That was the first one I played.
Yeah, it started with a K or something like that. It's a long name.
Yeah. Let me play a little bit of this. Now look at this. Look at these drones they got going out on these boys. This from the Mahood show.
To do the job. And now Donald Trump is outright saying that they need to serve. Yeah. Do they seriously think that people...
This is what happened last night. Now watch how these 48 fakers complain about they builders getting
hypersonic, exo-atmospheric.
Look at it.
And they're targeting Israel with... So this was the video that Iran published of these attacks taking place from Iran, of some of its heavy missiles. The interesting one was the Fattah that they used. This missile is a gliding missile. It has a gliding warhead that is able to evade anything in the sky, hypersonic, exo-atmospheric. And they're targeting Israel with it. Israel, of course, didn't have an answer to the first and second generation missiles coming from Iran. And now these missiles are landing with such high levels of destruction in Israel. And some in Israel are complaining they're complaining that the missiles are actually hitting residential locations. Israel is not speaking about the casualties numbers, but multiple people on the ground were saying that there were dozens of killed and wounded today in today's attacks, following the landings in the central parts of occupied Palestine, in particular an area called Givatayim, literally taking buildings down. Published some videos, again, despite all of the censorship. And the destruction was exceptionally severe in that area. Let's have a look at some of the damage here.
Behind me is the wreckage from a ballistic missile launched by the Iranian regime. What you can see is a civilian apartment building in Bat Yam, or what's left of it, after a ballistic missile directly hit this building. Numerous people were killed, hundreds were injured, and there are now soldiers behind me digging through the rubble to try to find the bodies. They are launching rockets at civilian buildings. This is what we need to stop. Behind me is the wreckage.
Is anyone taking that seriously? As in really? Seriously? The attack, they're still conducting a genocide in Gaza. Everything turned into rubble in Gaza because of them. Over 30,000 children, over 70,000 people, and they're starving them to death. And he's crying because Iran destroyed a building in Israel. Do they seriously think that people are gonna sympathize with them, or what is it exactly? It's baffling, really. It's mind-boggling. Complaining that dozens were killed and injured and hundreds were wounded. Now, of course, these statistics are not being shared in Israel, but the people on the ground, they know what they're talking about because they're there. They're living in the area. They know the people. And again, the damage is very severe from these Iranian attacks and from these Iranian missiles. And despite the fact that the American side is saying, and Israeli side is saying, oh, Iran's capabilities and they're unable to, they're actually increasing their attacks. And today they launched the advanced Arash-2, it's called drone, capable of carrying 150 kilogram warhead.
Check this out, dude. Get in drone. Watch this out. You got that boy lined up.
No joke, the attacks are increasing, but Donald Trump, despite all of that, is asking Iran for an unconditional surrender. He's telling the Iranians, you need to surrender now. Several days back, he said that the Iranians want to talk in the beginning. Then he said, we actually, multiple people might be in Iran. The following day, he said, we don't know who leads Iran. Lindsey Graham said, we don't care if there's like a religious or a non-religious entity there, so long as they're willing to do the job. And now Donald Trump is outright saying that they need to surrender. What does he think exactly? That Iran is just going to hand him the keys? And their attempt to drag Kurdistan is failing miserably. Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed
Hey, look, everybody turning on these Edomites, man. He's trying to get the Kurds to do a land invasion on the borders of Iraq and Iran, and they saying, nah, we don't know about all that, nigga. Don't try to send us out and get fucked up so y'all can blend in with us and try to do a land invasion.
Al-Sudani has discussed regional security developments with Kurdistan region President Nishirvan Barzani following attacks reported in several Iraqi cities. In a phone call on Friday, the two leaders rejected attacks targeting locations across Iraq, including in Kurdistan, according to a statement from the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's office on X. They also reaffirmed their commitment to preventing Iraqi territory from being used as a launching point for attacks against neighboring countries. Both sides stressed the need for national unity to confront the current security challenges and preserve Iraq's stability, sovereignty, and national security. So where is Trump going to get the mercenaries from? Now, mind you, a couple of things to take into consideration. The first thing is the United States isn't talking about the contractor casualties. We know that in recent years, well, in the past couple of decades, from Blackwater moving forward, even before that too in Iraq, they had contractors, mercenaries who are not officially in the army, but they work for the army and they get paid better, by the way. So $6,000 to $10,000 a month and something like that. Some of them more, some of them less. The United States doesn't declare any list to do with contract, because from their perspective, it's like a private thing. So when you hear the American administration talking about 3 people being killed, expect that number to be hundreds of times higher, only from the armed forces, let alone the contractors that are working for the United States of America. And Iran has all of the details of these people. It's not like Iran know where these people are.
That's all we need from that. There's just several clips of what's been going down. Let's go back. Let's bring up the scriptures. We're gonna go to this. Let's go to Jeremiah. You can read this at your own leisure too, Israel. Matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah right quick so we can understand as to who doing all these things. Isaiah 45:5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. He talking to the house of Israel, right? That they may know, let me get this, verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. Guess who's trying to take his place? These retarded ass Edomites. Here go to point, verse 7. I form the light, Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. The Lord is the one that created the evil on this earth. And he using his wicked vessel, which is the Edomites, to carry it out. The sooner you realize that, Israel, you'll be better. That's why we're speaking these prophecies to you, so you can get yourself prepared mentally for what's going to take place on this earth.
Yeah.
Like right here, this is from what you had said earlier, Haratazar, about the potsherd, whatever. Warn to him that striveth with his maker. That's what these Edomites doing, and our people do the same thing, because they follow out these Edomites. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou, or thy work? He hath no hands. Y'all ain't gonna stop what the Lord have done, and what he have created, and what he have purposed. That's just brief examples of what's going down over there in the so-called Middle East. But you got to realize too, like I said in a lesson the other day, we did an invasion on Ecuador too. So we all over the like you say, never, like I read in the book of Habakkuk, neither keep it at home. They all over the place doing shit. But as they have done, it shall be done unto them. Oh, we had an hour already.
Come on.
You got to bring out.
Yeah. Let me get this. Concerning Esau Edom, like he said, unconditional, what do you say? Unconditional surrender?
Yeah, he demanded unconditional surrender. Okay. And got the people thinking over here in America that they winning this war. They are not. As we speak, since it started last Saturday, BB then flew to Germany. He fled to Germany, and now he on his way to Mar-a-Lago.
Yep. Go read Amos chapter 9 concerning that. I got to do a lesson still on Bill Gates and these other elites. Apparently, this nigga got 11 bunkers. That's not going to save him.
I ain't going to say 11-9. They gonna dig him up out the earth. You hear me?
Yeah. Second Ezra, he's one of those elites, most likely that the elect going to fetch. He's going to be coming in chains.
Yeah.
All the things he's done on the earth.
Kings and fetters and chains. Yeah, he diabolical. Oh, and they saying I just seen a report that they've been doing some more tests over in Area 51. They tested some more bombs, some ballistic missiles. But it seemed like you say, if you win it, why you got it? They finna try to go drop some nuclear shit already. Why would you do that if you win it? And if you win it, what you'd call 7 other countries forward to come and help you defend Cyprus?
I think I can answer that question, because Esau Edom is at the point of their kingdom where they know they don't have much time. As it says, Revelation 12:12, they shall. Let me make sure I read this correctly real quick. For the sake of time, I'm going to get this in my other scripture.
Yeah, and also the days have been shortened, or else there won't be no flesh left. You see how these Edomites get down? They don't have no problem killing nobody.
Nope.
Killing any and everything and destroying the earth while they do it.
Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. It's just like when a little kid know they about to get punished. They just throwing a temper tantrum when they don't get their way. So they bringing down everybody they can because they know that their kingdom is perishing. As it says, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. You said what?
I said at the same time, what they thinking, they setting up a new world order.
Yeah. It says, 2nd Ezra 15:27, concerning unconditional surrender. For now the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Now, of course, I know that this is talking about the Israelites.
But hey, them curses didn't fill up on them other nations now, so it apply to them.
Exactly.
We're getting all the same things we get throughout history. And our history is in them scriptures. When he removed the noblemen, roughly paraphrased, let me see. He took away, every time we went into captivity, he diminished the capacity of our leaders.
Verse 16, 2nd Ezra 16:16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plague that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And if you continue reading on, this is just the times that we're in right now. So that's all I got. I didn't realize we was at an hour.
Yeah.
So with that, Lord willing, the lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. We're going to close it off there.
Hold on, let's go. I want to read one more precept.
Go ahead.
We can go to Isaiah 31. Help not in Egypt, but in the Most High power. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. So all the Israelites that's in the military, guess what's going to happen to y'all? Y'all ain't coming back. If you get deployed over there to the Middle East, you ain't coming back. Western Asia, you ain't coming back. And trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Verse 2, he go to point. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, like you just read it saying in Exodus 15. You hear me? But will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. That's Babylon the Great, and them Israelis, the 48 fakers. Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High power, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fail together. Remember you mentioned that earlier, right?
Hey,
You heard me, Roger?
Con, I got a report
Remember you
saying
mentioned that earlier about whoever was hoping them. Remember we were talking about before we did the lesson, when we were talking about everybody trusting in Egypt. Yeah, that was it. You continue to read 31 if you want to. I'll drop down to 8 right quick. Isaiah 31 and 8. Then shall the Assyrian, because through the spirit, Edom, America is Assyria too. Then shall the Assyrian fall with the sword, not of a mighty man, and the sword not of a mean man shall devour him, but he shall flee from the sword, and his young men shall be discomfited. So, like I say, also reading scriptures, these widows, they're going to be some widows. It's going to be a lot of widows. And they're going to look for who? The men of the Lord. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, they saying Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, and Qatar is about to withdraw their investments from the United States and future commitments.
That's what it is. Hey, nothing but hard times coming for America.
Yeah.
As you have done, it shall be done unto thee. What's that? Obadiah 1 and 15. Right? Because y'all been so death and destruction throughout the four corners of the earth. And now it's going to come back on your head. This is all for the controversy of Zion. We read that in Isaiah 34 and 8. The Lord going to repay Edom for everything they did to us. You should be happy. If you a nigga, you should be happy. But these niggas ain't happy. They mad. What's going on? Our daddy going down. Yeah, y'all daddy going down. What you say your partner said? Just like one of my partners. We got the greatest military on earth. Nigga, this ain't your military. They oppressed us. But you think because you can go and spend a little money, you free. You still got to pay.
Then my one friend I was talking about earlier today, I forgot. Shoot, after May, that nigga going into the Air Force. So
I will. See you later. What's it? Let's say since Jake like look, niggas love these little fables and cliches made up by us and white people throughout history. See you later, alligator. After wild cracker down, too soon, baboon. You know what I'm saying? Stupid ass shit. Yeah, see you later, buddy.
Yeah. So we're gonna close it off there for the second time. We could do another one of these lessons. There's so much information out there that could be brought out there. But Lord willing, the lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. We're gonna close it off there. I give him all praise, honor, and glory. To Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh, Bahashim, Double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, once again, who taught us this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh. And until next time, we say Shalom, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.
And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom.
Put a smile on your face, man. It ain't looking good for these Edomites.
Shalom.
Shalom.